What's good, y'all? I'm Lonnie Appleton. I am a healthy family advocate and healing journey coach. I am a twice published author. I am the host of podcast Pen and Paper Period. You can consume my content here on Pen and Paper Period as well as the Apple Turns on TikTok and YouTube. I'm Lonnie Appleton on Facebook. I'm LonnieLifestyle.com for all things, so you can go there and just figure it all out from there. But yes, that's me. I do what I call the Lonee Roller Coaster, where I take you on a journey. It's not a one, I'm dropping knowledge. And that's what we do. I'm telling you my story. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm telling you my story and how I came to be the person that's in front of you today. But I'm taking you all the way around because everything is around. If you look at this root system of this tree, yes, it has this tree, but even in this tree, it's not one dimensional. It branches off in all these different ways. And even if you look at the root system, it's even more tangled up down there. So you have to understand when someone is telling you about themselves, if they're only able to tell you one branch, they either don't know themselves, they're not studying themselves, or they're being deceptive. You get to decide who you're dealing with. So when you're looking for someone that you're going to give your hard-earned money to, first make sure they are keeping the dollar, make sure that you are keeping the dollar black as long as possible. And then after you make sure you keep the dollar black as long as possible, make sure you keep the dollar divine as possible. So you make sure you keep the dollar in the kingdom. Make sure you're supporting believers. Make sure you're keeping the dollar within your community. We go and get a job, the money goes from the non-melanated hand right over our hand. It don't even touch our hand. It goes to the non-melanated bank. So our hand still ain't even touched it yet. We take our card that represents the money that we ain't even touched, and we go and spend it with a non-melanated vendor. So do you understand? We never touch the wealth. They just use our labor to transfer the wealth within their bloodlines. So we have to pay attention to those things. So moving forward, I'm doing all these different things, hosting events, sponsoring. I sponsored a young lady, was able to collect a few dollars on her behalf. I'm doing all these things, working to support the community, because that's all I ever wanted to do, was create a space for us to know and grow and truly come into our excellence. We're studying together, we're getting fit together, we're getting to know God together, we're doing all these different things. And we're not doing it in a group think type space. We're all individuals, but we're doing it together because look, if it was just me out by myself, I would have quit a long time ago. I have quit it. I quit in my 20s. I quit in my 30s. I'm not quitting again, because what else I'm going to do? I'm not going to shrink back and live this miserable life. I'm not going to accept hell on earth. I'm going to keep trying for heaven. So that's all our ancestors did. You understand, their version of heaven, what we're experiencing right now, would be our ancestors' dreams. But we have to understand, we don't get to stop at our ancestors' dreams, because we are someone's ancestors, which means our future will be born into this misery, and this is misery. This is misery for us. It's our ancestors' dreams. But we have to understand, it has gotten to the point where what our ancestors dreamt about is actually miserable. Understand? So it's time for us to start moving again. And that's what they're scared of. And that's why they keep saying, oh, they're going to start disrupting all the distribution things and all that. Yes, they are. They're going to try to cripple us. So it's time for us they have to do it in a way. It's like the frogs in the boiling pot. They have to do it in a way so it's slowly happening. Otherwise, they're going to have a revolt. And they can have a revolt from the Black people because they've got us so disorganized that we can't really come together for nothing. You understand? We got all these different organizations that are fighting against each other, instead of unifying and figuring out how we can actually come up against the common enemy. So they're not worried about us, but some of us they need to be worried about, because we're not just leaving America. Because if it's truly gonna hit the fan in America, why aren't we getting our passports and leaving? We just gone over to the motherland, go over to Jamaica, go over to any black or brown place and just chill out. Why aren't we truly leaving? Why are we bunkering down and getting ready for the apocalypse? Nigga, I'm the fuck out of here. If I truly believe, I do believe that it is going to get that way, but I think it's going to get that way worldwide. There's not going to be anywhere that's going to be at peace, because we are waking up to the fact that we're living in hell.